Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, no. Clear, no? Can you hear me? Yes. Good evening, good evening. Right, okay. So last week, actually, we just discussed about that mainly the main natures of the communication idea. And after that, just ideas about the elements thing. And normally, now we have idea about what is communication. Now, simply idea, if I ask, what is the simple idea about the communication now? You have so many things, lot of things you can tell now, according to the lessons. Okay. Now, already you finish the first lesson, and first lesson have the beginning, expansion, importance, main ideas. And according to the second lesson, also we can get so many ideas like what is communication nature and communication meaning with the language ideas. And now you know a simple small idea about that communication elements. According to that thing, if I ask what is communication now, normally we know what communication is exchanging feeling, thoughts, and ideas to someone. That is the simple point. No? But according to that thing, now what is your advanced idea about the communication? If I ask, can you tell me any logical thing according to the two lessons now? Now, before that thing, only one lesson idea you have, but now you have two lessons, basic ideas. Now only few topics we have to finalize, then we can finish this lesson, second lesson. If I ask an advanced critical idea about the communication, what you can say now? In here, I don't want that exchanging feeling thoughts idea only, because now you have some more ideas than that thing. If I ask the critical idea about the communication, what you can say now? Before start the today topics, actually, what idea we have? Okay, what is the idea we have? For right? Okay, according to the uh, advanced idea about the communication, normally communication is a exchange of feeling, thoughts, ideas, that idea. But in here, I don't want that idea only, because that is a common idea. That's the common idea. But now we have much more idea about the thing. What is the now idea? New, not new, but what is the idea now? I think signal failure or something. Power cut or something. Is there? Yesterday in here also power cut thing in the evening, in the signal problem in there. Signal failure or something. Imparting or exchange of information by speaking, uh, speaking, writing, and using another medium. Right, right. Okay, right. So that's the critical idea. Simple, okay. Now you can see so many ideas about the viewer of something and the common idea joined. Then we can develop once who makes something public idea is the communication. And in the Sinhala way, we can say finally combine the feelings and spreading is the communication. And in the Tamil way, we can say the developing group activities or developing connections, relationships, that is the communication. That idea also we can develop. And if I ask about that, what are the natures that we can see according to the communication, what you can say? Nature. Can you tell me that 7 topics about the nature thing? Recently, last week, we discussed about that thing mainly and the natures of the communication. What you can say? 7 ideas are there. We discuss all the things. Yeah, it's already finished. 7 type of ideas are there. What are the ideas? Firstly, what thing? Communication has a what thing? Communication has a aim. Aim, symbolic, contextual. Okay. Then other things. It's a what kind of thing? It's a step-by-step work, means it's a process. No, it's a process. It's a process. Then what type of things? Aims are there, symbolic, okay, contextual. Step-by-step work means process. And after that, we can see heterogeneous, that means variation ideas is there, right? Good. One way, two way, and communication power, right? So that nature's really important to what thing? For explain the communication logically and practically. That is the point. Then after that, we just discussed that process of the communication simply in the last week. That first passage we just discussed, actually communications process of the exchanging information built on all that thing, the old work, yeah, and it can increase the value of the developing information or exchanging ideas. That thing we can increase. Then main elements we have to discuss about that idea. So mainly 4 communication elements we can see, and after that, without that 4 elements, we can't see the other types of elements. So my question is this thing: what thing? What are the main communication elements that we can see? Main, only there are 4 main. Other 8 elements are there. That's one additionally. But if you know these 4 elements, you can develop the other 8 elements. So what are the main 4 elements? Can you tell me? What are the main 4 elements? Last week, we discussed about that thing and I give the simple meaning about that thing. What are the main 4 elements? Main 4 elements are not the other things. Main 4 elements. Main 4 elements. What are the main 4 elements? Main 4 elements. Main 4 elements. main four elements. What are the main four elements? Main four. Mainly, what elements really helpful for us? Mainly, main four. In the step-by-step work process thing, yes, communicator, message, channel, and receiver, right? You can use the sender word also, sender, source, anything, yeah. Then what are the other elements? After that thing, that communicator have that developing process idea, and that mean encoding is there. Receiver have the decoding, and barriers there, effect is there, feedback is there, signals are there, context is there, experience there. So that type of other 8 elements are there. So last week we only discussed about that. Discuss means I only give that simple meanings about the elements. No, we don't discuss the passages. No, that only name. No, I think, yeah, I give the simple meanings about the elements. Just simple meanings. Under that thing, you write that thing. Communicator is the developer of the message. Encoding means process of the developing message. We write that thing, no? You all write that thing, no? Only that thing. Messages, yes, messages means the collection of ideas by communicator. Channel means the path to exchange our ideas to someone. Path is the medium. Receiver means the targeting part. It means understanding part of the communication. Next one, decoding is the understanding process by receiver. Feedback means nothing. Visualize answer by receiver. Next one, noise. Noise means sometimes we can use the barriers word also. Same idea for the noise thing. So noise means, or barriers means nothing. Blockage for the communication process. And next one, experiences. Experiences means the skills or abilities that depend on the time and the space, time and the age also, okay? And context means what thing? The background of the communication process. It means technology, language, experiences, methods, types, forms, anything. And after that, effects, the effects means what thing? The expectation of the communicator, that is the effect. Last one, signal, is some kind of a collection of format. Actually, it's a format type, a folder. Mainly, we can see audio signals and visual signals are there. And it's a collection of ideas. It's not a message, but it's a format. The collection of the ideas we can develop as a format. As an example of the audio format or visual format, then we can transmit that info somewhere. In the past, we hooting fire also, that type of things also, visual and audio type signals, but not technological. But nowadays we have technological formats, audio formats and visual formats. In this type of platform, mainly we can see these two things parallelly in one platform. In the telephone, mainly used in the past as an audio signal format. After television comes, then audio and visual format combined together. Now we use that thing as a combined idea, but still we use that audio and visual format for our communication needs. So today we have discussed the main elements inside idea. What are the ideas that we can see in the every element, and we have to discuss that what are the examples about that thing also. So there's a point. What are the differences between these elements. No? Every element have a point. What kind of point? Okay. So in the paper, sometimes they ask to compare, they ask like this, mainly write down 4 communication elements, then select the 2 things and compare that 2 elements using their characteristic or using their examples or something. If they ask like that, what type of ideas we can write according to the each elements. So first we have to start the first main point, main element of the communication. Without this element, receiver also not in there, messages also not in there, media also not in there. So mainly one, communicator, sender, it's the starting point of the communication. If we read that thing, you can see a point like this. Communicator, sender also same. Communicator is the most basic element. Basic means the starting point of the communication. Okay, basic element of communication that can be seen as an individual or a group or an institution or an organization. You have to highlight that thing. Individually, sometimes we can see one person. Okay, sometimes we can see as a group. We get the most of that type of thing. Sometimes we can see an institution, company or something. Sometimes we can see as organization like UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, that type of presidents are there. They represent their organization, but they are not only one person. So organization idea. So you have to highlight that. Okay? Highlight that. The communicator, next one. The communicator is the person who starts sending something. Underline that. Use a red pen. Starts what thing? Sending something. He or she is the person who develop a message, and he or she is the person who starting a sending message process. Sending message process. Think about that. Sending something from one place to another place. He or she have to target where are the place that we have to exchange our message. Who are the peoples that have to receive the message or something. Okay. And then he or she creates a message with the aim of the receiver. Highlight that. We have to target what thing? Who's our receiver? Who's our receiver? And we have to point out what thing? Not only receiver. Please note down this thing. We have to check their literacy. Write down. Their literacy. There means receiver's literacy. And we have to check what is the channel. What is the channel we have to use to exchange our message to someone? So if you are a communicator, if you are a sender, you have to think 2, 3 main things. Who's our receiver? What is the level of their literacy? And what are the medias that we can use according to their literacy? Okay, that's the point. You have to understand that. And you have to write similar words for the communicator. You can write that thing near to that communicator topic. You can see the topic. No? In the topic, near to that topic, the right hand side, you can write a similar names for the communicator like this. Recently, I tell one similar word for you. I can write that thing. So communicator is the given word in here. So write down these similar words. Sender is a similar word for the communicator. Write down. Sender is a similar word for the communicator. Sender. Sending something. Sender. Right? Sender. And second idea, encoder. Encoder. Recently, I told you, encoding is the process of developing some messages. No? Then who developed that thing? That is encoder. Encoding belongs to the communicator. No? Communicator's process is encoding messages. So, communicator become a encoder according to that point. So, encoder is a similar name for communicator. And other, mainly we can see this word source. Source. That is the starting point now. Starting point. So it becomes the source. Source. Starting point of the communication. Source. Source idea. Okay. And sometimes we can use this word also, beginner. Okay. Beginner. Beginning point. Beginning or beginner of the communication is encoding, encoder, communicator ID. That is the point. To understand that thing. Okay, right? So this is the point. As an example, I can give you who are the communicators actually in the practically we can see. 2-3 examples you can write down under the passage. This type of things. Lecturers. Lecturers. Example for the communicators. Lecturers. And teachers. Okay. Teachers. And some kind of singers. Singer as a singer. Presenter. News or program or what. This is presenter. This type of peoples do what thing actually? Developing messages and exchanging with that selected part. Okay. And what is the job actually? What is the process? Developing messages for selected group, and we have to think what thing? Who's our receiver? And what is the literacy? What is the media that we can use? That is the point. Right? That's the point. Now the next thing, encoding message. Encoding, next point. Encoding. Now you know, encoder is a similar name for who? Communicate. Then encoding belongs to what person? Communicator. That's why we use this word as a similar name for communicate. So what is the process? Communicating, it means exchanging idea. But before exchanging idea, we have to develop messages. Main process is what thing? Developing messages and using that messages to exchange their ideas with someone. Developing ideologies or developing understandings idea. Okay. So encoding, next point. Encoding, you know already, last week also I told you, it's a developing process of the message, means a constructing part of the messages. Okay. So encoding. Encoding is the process by which the communicator construct a message. Underline that thing. Constructs a message. Constructs a message. Construct a message. Just highlight that. Constructs a message. Right. And after that, construct a message. And what type of things we can use to construct a message? See, symbols are there. Colors are there. Symbols, colors. Shapes also there. Symbols are there. Colors are there. Shapes are there. Okay. And language. Just highlight all the things. Why we use this type of things? To develop our message. Symbols, colors, shapes, languages. Okay. Can be used can be used there for what thing? Encoding messages, developing messages, constructing a message. Sometimes this gets technical. Chatting or something, chatting. Messaging, no? Messaging, calling, emailing, okay? Emails. This type of things are what kind of things? Technically communicate with someone. Technically communicate with someone. So, technical ideas are there. However, encoding is something that needs to be done according to receiver. See, communicators actually processes developing messages according to receivers. And I told you recently, literacy also really important. And we have to think about the medias that they use to understand. So media, literacy, and the receiver, very important here. Without that knowledge, you can't develop a message. Because you have to understand what is the literacy level that they have, and you have developed a message according to their literacy. According to their literacy. Okay? Without that thing, they can't understand. What are the symbols are here? What are the ideas? What are the inside ideas? What is the context? They can't understand. You have to think about their age. You have to think about their experience levels. You have to understand that thing. Without that thing, you can't get the point. That's the idea. So think about the thing. Yeah? Encoding. Now you can write some examples about that thing. This one also you can write that receiver, not only receiver, you have to think about the literacy and the media also. Just write down. Communicators also want this knowledge. What thing? Receivers idea, literacy idea, and media. And here encoding also depend on what thing? Our receiver, our path means channel, and the literacy. These three things really important for that thing also. Right? Okay? Right, encoding. Write down there, receiver, literacy, media. These three things really important for encoding also. Have to understand. Okay? That's the point. Then, next one. Encoding examples I can give you. See, write down. Encoding examples, messaging, calling someone, calling, you dial the number and you call. It's a technical idea, you develop the idea. And you after that you using language to exchange idea in a code. Emailing, you attach some files, you type in something in there. Chatting, write down there, chat. That type of things are examples of what thing. Writing a letter, okay, filling a form or something, applications, that type of things are what thing, encoding ideas. Write an essay, write an answer for a question, that also encoding. You have to understand the points, criteria, and the language and the format. Then you can write down that. You have to use the grammar, you have to use the formats. Things are there. So write down that examples. Okay. If you done that thing, please tell me okay. Then we can move to the other one. You done? Then say okay. You move to the next one after that. Okay. Okay. We note down that. Right. Now move to the next one. Next page. The message idea is there. Now this message already in here. You can see that. Messages. Actually, who developed the messages? Encoder. Encoder means communicate. Then the message actually ideas by whom communicate. So actually we have to write down, if they ask to explain message, you can write simply like what? It's a collection of ideas by communicate. It's a collection of ideas by communicate. That is the point. It's a collection of ideas by communicate, by messages. Then passage is there, just read. The message is the idea that the communicator sends to the receiver. Okay? Idea, just highlight the idea. Ideas are there. Sometimes feeling, sometimes letter, sometimes poem, sometimes a song. That type of things are examples. After that, we can write down that thing in here. Ideas that communicate sends to the receiver. This usually depends on what thing subscriber. Just highlight the subscriber. But subscriber is not for the YouTube or something. Subscriber means similar name for what thing? Receive. In the receiver category, we can write down that example. Not example, similar name. Okay. So subscriber is not belong to the YouTube thing. Subscriber indicate what thing? Receive. Okay. Subscriber means receive. Think about the FB followers, YouTube, Instagram followers or some people. TikTok followers also receivers. So who are the people follow you? Who are the people follow you means who already look to your thing, so comment to your thing, so like your thing, so who watch the ideas that you publish. It is receiver. Okay. You can create a message by writing or speaking or acting or dancing. Underline. You can develop some message like that. Acting, performing is developing messages idea. Acting also same like that. Speaking in here I use speaking idea. Speaking also a developing messages idea. Writing, I write so many things in there. I use some letters. Sometimes I use symbols are here. These all the things really want what thing? Developing messages. And after that, messages can be made with words or without words. Words idea we can see like this. Speaking also depend on the words. But think about color light or something. Good example. Color light or something. Signature. Okay. Light, signature, and international symbols. This type of things are what type of things? That also messages. But difference is they don't use, it's actually not in there. No words are there. Sometimes a shape, sometimes a color, sometimes illustration ideas are there. So think about that. Words or without words means that kind. Words using means verbal communication. Without words means non-verbal communication. In the third lesson, we have to study what is non-verbal communication as a form of the communication. Okay. So words or without words, also we can develop so many messages. In here also you can see words we can use to express the idea, and we can use some symbols to highlight the ideas. See in here, I use within inverted commas for this thing. So what thing? Highlight this word, indicate this word. Think about that. So with words or without words also we can develop some messages. That's the thing. With numbers also sometimes. As an example, if in the exam, if they ask to write down 4 elements about the communication, how you write? How you write? You can use this thing. See, all the things according to that thing. Now, see, you can phone 1. Okay, write down 1. Communicate is there. Okay. And second one, message is there. Third one, your feedback is there. Fourth one, channel is there. Why I write this thing now? See, in this point, I said what thing? With words or without words or with numbers or shapes or colors, you can just express your idea. See, in here, see, number is here, right? And symbols are here. And words also here. So, messages means that type of idea. Collection of what type of things? Symbols, okay, sometimes letters, sometimes numbers, so many things. It's a collection of ideas. That is the point, okay. Now after that thing, it is just needs to the match what thing? Same thing, literacy of the receiver as well as the media. See, communicator also really important, these 3 things. What thing? Receiver, literacy and the media. Encoding also really important, literacy, receiver and the media. Now here message also really important, these 3 things. What thing? Media, literacy and receiver. Right. Now the next thing. Examples already we write that thing. No, messages that some kind of you can write reports, news, answers, essays, and notice. For examples, under the passage, you can write that in 2, 3 examples. Notice are there, posters are messages, radio message or something, song, teledrama, poem as a message. Very simple. Okay, that's the idea. Get the point, huh? Right. After you point out that thing, after done that thing, please tell me okay, then we can move to the next one channel. Note down that example, sir. In the exam, if they ask to write down that thing with examples, you can write that thing, no problem. You done that thing, please tell me okay, then you can move to the next one channel. Right, okay. Now the next one, channel. Channel have a similar name also in here, medium. And another word you can see in the first line of this passage, right? Media or channel is the path through which a message travels. Okay. Now here in this platform, in now practically, 2 medias mainly in here. No, mainly 2 and another additional 3rd type of idea also here. According to now, this platform, according to now, this situation, can you tell me what are the medias, what are the paths that I use to communicate with you now? Can you tell me? Mainly 3 paths are there. I use that 3 paths to communicate with you now, in now also. Can you tell me? Practically tell me. Think about the path and what type of paths now I use to communicate with you. 3 things are there mainly. If you can tell that three things means you got the point, right? Tell me, how many three paths are there? And can you tell me what are the paths that I use now? What is the idea? What are the paths that I use now? What are the paths that I use now? What are the paths? Three mainly there. Think about, think critically, logically, and tell me. Three paths are there. Three paths are there. Can you tell me? What are the paths? What are the main channels that I use to communicate with you now? Tell me. Logically think about that thing and tell me. Logically think about and tell me. Think about. Think what type of paths. Not a complicated thing. Okay? Don't think like complicated. Simply think about what type of paths that I use to communicate with you now. What type of paths? What are the paths? What are the paths? Tell me. What type of paths that I use to communicate with you now? Tell me. What type of paths? Visual, audio, and text, right? In the text we call written path. So audio paths, you can get the thing from this one. It's microphone I used because I use the verbal communication now. If you want that clearly, you have to listen that thing because you have write down something or the explanation going on this truth this thing. So this one help to transmit the audio for you. So this one we use for what thing? For the audio part. And I turn on the camera in here and you can see me now on your screen. So visual also there. And where the text in here? Tell me, where the text in here? Where the text in here? Where the text in here? Text, you also have the text idea, written idea. But here, where the text idea? Audio and visual thing now you know. Mic and the camera is there. And what is the idea about the written or text idea in here? Where the text, where the written idea now? Where? Where the text and written idea? Where? Where? Where is it? Where you can see written idea or text idea? Language based thing, symbolic based thing, where? Now, what type of think? Think. Where the text idea now? Where the text idea now? Written okay, written no. Audio okay, visual okay. Where the text? Where the written idea? In the whiteboard, yeah. And another idea is there. You have a tute now. You have a lesson that handout to have. In that one also you can use as a written type of idea. You write something in there And sometimes if I give the homeworks, you finalize the thing and you do that thing in the book. You can use that thing also as a written form. Okay? Think it's a path to exchange our ideas. Okay? Media means a path, a bridge between the communicator and receiver. Okay? But that also depends on what thing. Who's your receiver? What is the literacy level? And what is the situation? According to situation, we have developed that. Right? Media or channel is the path. So path is a similar name for what thing now? The media. Media, channel, path. Three words are there. Through which a message travels. Okay. It can usually be audio and visual. Audio and visual. Highlight that thing. Audio and visual. Now you know no, audio actually in here. Audio and visual I explained you, right? As well as the technical and traditional. That thing also you have to highlight. Traditional ideas are there. Traditional means putting fire, smoke in the past ideas. That type of things also media. So okay, think about that thing. Traditional ideas. Okay. Virtual means what thing? In here we use virtual communication. High-speed transmission system is here. Okay. This one connect to province, sometimes island-wise, sometimes. So many areas we can connect it with this one simply. That's a virtual type idea, internet and social media. I like that. There are is new media as well as mass media. This one actually, Zoom is a app. Apps are mainly belongs to the social media, okay? But we want internet, no? Internet is the best example for the new media, okay? In the fourth lesson, we have to study that thing. Don't worry about that thing. That lessons we can explain that thing, but just get the idea. Social media want internet. It means connection. It means network. Without network, it can't active, okay, anything. So social media also want internet. It means new media we want. Mass media means what thing? Television, radio, and newspapers. That recently we discussed that part. Think about visual part. What is the media? Television. Audio part. What is the media? Radio. Text. You mean text? No. Written idea also same. Belongs to what thing? Newspapers. See, main three medias also depend on what thing? That idea. Written idea, audio idea, and visual idea. Right? If the media process is right, it has to change according to the receiver, as well as the literacy to create right messages. Okay, to create right messages has to change according to the receiver, as well as the literacy to create the right message. To create the right message, correct? Think about that thing. Change according to the receiver as well as literacy to create right messages. Just highlight receiver really important, and literacy really important, and message also really important for that thing. Think about that. Okay. Now, see, this is the part, and this is the example for that. You can write that thing in there. Okay. Visual, TV, audio, radio, text or written is newspaper. You can write that thing in there. This is the part. This is the example. Just note down that thing. Okay. If you're done, tell me okay. Yeah? paths are there. It depends on the messages. Sometimes the receivers. Okay. You done? Tell me okay. Yeah? Then go to the next one. Main fourth main element is here receiver. Recently, I told the subscriber, follower, also similar ideas for this receive. You'll know that thing, right? And that receivers actually depend on the media. Okay, depend on the media. Okay, depend on the media. Now in here, just get the idea. Receiver also have similar names. No? Receiver also have similar names. Firstly, I have to give these names for you. Near to the receiver word in the right hand side, please note down this thing. Huh? Please note down this thing. Receive. Think about that thing. What are the examples for, not examples, similar words for the receive? Just write down that. Now, communicator have the sending idea and sender. No? Now, receiver is here. No? Okay, receiver. Receiver point is decode. Decoder is a similar name for receiver because encoding idea belongs to what person? Communicate, right? He or she develop messages. No? Now, receiver, he or she understand the message. It's called decoding. So decoding belongs to decoder. It means receive. Decode, right? And after that, another word is there. Destination. Destination part. This is the second main last element. No? This is the destination, ending point of the communication. Okay? Decoder is there, destination is there. And after you can write subscriber. Subscriber as a similar name. A similar name for the communication. Okay? That's the, for the receiver. Sorry. Decoder, destination, subscriber. This type of things. Similar names you can use for what thing? Receiver. You have to write down there. You can write followers also, no problem. That also similar name. Right? Right. After that, please tell me okay. Done? Note down? Okay. Then please tell me okay. Okay. Right. Now receiver. The receiver is the next most important role in communication. Okay. And there are basic three types of receivers. Okay. Those are viewers, listeners, and readers. Viewers, listeners, and readers. Viewers, listeners, and readers. Please highlight viewers. Main three types of the receivers: viewer, listener, and reader. Viewer, listener, and reader. That three types depend on what thing? Depend on what thing? Three medias that we have. Now, visual type formats, based for viewers, audio type formats based for listeners, okay, written type formats belongs for readers. Then what are the medias? Viewers belongs to what media? That television type media. Television, teledrama, films, stage dramas, that type of things. Examples. Huh? Listeners, main media, radio, songs, lectures, that type of things are there. Readers, newspaper is there mainly. Otherwise, books, magazines, and posters, banners. So many things are there. What I think about that. Highlight listeners, readers are there. Those three ways. Okay. There is also active, deactive, and weak receivers are there. But in the exam, if they ask to write main three receivers, main three receivers, main three receivers, you have to write these three things. Huh? Okay, these three things. Viewer, listener, and reader. Right? Okay. Don't write what thing. This active, deactive, weak idea. Okay. Why? These three things, not the main three types of the receivers. Okay. Main three types are these three types. These three types are what idea? These three types actually depend on their active, deactive stages. Okay. If some viewers actively they do that thing, they are active receivers. It means they watch something and they react that thing. Okay. But if someone listening or watching, someone listen to the radio but they don't react for that anytime, that is deactive. And think about someone don't listen any radio thing, they don't watch anything, they don't read anything, they don't give feedback. That type of peoples are weak people. Okay. Main three types of the receivers are viewer, listener, and reader. According to their activities, we can say active, deactive, and weak. It's depend on their activity. Okay. In the exam, if they ask what are the sublevels of the receiver, please write down active, deactive, and weak. If they ask to write main three types, don't write this active, deactive, weak. These three types of the receivers are sublevels of the receiver. So think about that. Active, deactive, weak, right? Then also active, deactive, weak receivers are there, right? Now the examples, you note down this thing. Already we have that point in here. We already highlight no viewers, listeners, readers. But if you want, you can note down this thing. Visual, audio, and written format is there. Okay. Visual format for television, audio format for radio, written format for newspaper. Right. These three things really important for develop this three type of main receivers. Right. That's the point. Right. Okay. No. Now we just discuss communicator, message, encoding, yeah, channel, receive. Any doubts are there? If any doubts are there, please tell. Any doubts? All are clear or not? Right. All are clear or not? All are clear or not? All are clear or not? Clear or not? Right. Please, any doubts if you have, please tell me. Yeah, very important one with elements. You can see that thing in the next papers. Huh? Now, after this second lesson also, I give a unit test for you. Not for that thing, that third lesson, after second lesson, the next unit test, actually you can see this element-based questions, and that time you really import this knowledge. So this time, small examples and small passages are here, but it has a very important value for what thing? To write the answer for the exams and select the answers for the MCQ paper. Really important. So next one, decoding. Now recently encoding idea we just discussed. Encoding idea. Encoding means what thing? Developing messages. Okay. By whom? By communicate. Now encoding ideas, opposite idea is what thing? Decoding. Encoding's opposite idea is what thing? Decoding. Encoding opposite idea is decoding. Now encoding means what thing? Developing messages. Decoding means what thing? Understanding messages. Understanding messages. Okay? Understanding and make a reaction. Okay? Now you can see that point in here. Decoding is the process by which the receiver understand a message. Just highlight that. Understand a message. Understand a message. Okay? Understand the message. Understand the message. Understand the message. Okay? Understand the message. Okay? For that, a message must come in a way that is suitable for the receiver to understand. See, this one also belongs what thing? Depend on what thing? Literacy. Right on there. Literacy. So if we develop a message not suit for the literacy for receiver, that person can't understand this properly. Why? Less literacy. Okay. The experience also very important in India. Why? Similar experiences we want. Similar experiences. The communicator and receiver don't have the similar experiences means what thing is a problem after that. But they can't understand. Can't understand. That's the point. Okay. So you have to understand that thing. So if you want to develop a message, it really suit for what thing you receive. Okay. That's the idea. Decoding. As an example, you can write in there. Literacy and the media also really important. Just write down the media also. Proper media also we want to understand the message. Think about that. Sometimes some symbols not suit for some messages. Think about now. In the past, there are some mobile phones are there. Just it's not quality phones. Sometimes illegally they sell that phones. It's called Chinese phones. Small keypad type phones are there. Most of the people they use that thing for the messaging, but Singlish idea mainly use that in the mobile phones, but not quality. Very harmful for your earrings or something. So in that mobile phones, we can't use singular letters or something according to this system because it's just Chinese type phones. It's not quality one, a low quality one. And that type of phones can't read some symbols. If we put a singular word for any message, other people, receiver can't understand what actually inside this message is shown like this. No letters are there, only symbols come to the other side, because that mobile phones can't read the message properly. It means decoding fail. Okay, if you explain something for children or kids or some low level literacy people, you are an elder or you are a younger, you can understand that thing. But that type of people means children can't understand it properly, because they don't have a similar experiences like you. So if you develop a message, it means if you encoding a message, please be careful. What thing is understand their literacy. Without that thing, they can't decode that thing. Decode that thing means what thing? They can't decode that means what thing? No proper reactions are there. It's a problem. I don't understand that thing, okay? Decoding. As an example, I can tell you this thing. What thing? Read that. Write down that thing. Uh, Reactions. Reacting. In a social media, normally we can see now very familiar thing, reacting. Okay. Replies. Replying to some messages or something. Reply. Okay. Reply. And commenting. Commenting. Comments means they can understand that thing and they want to react with their ideas. They use commenting idea. Okay. If they comment means they can understand something, or sometimes they can't understand it. Okay. We can see that thing if they understand it that or not using their commenting ideas. Okay. The YouTube or social media also we can see some comments are there. But if you read the comments, you can understand, okay, they understand actually this message or not. That also really helpful. No? How that we can develop a proper message according to the comments. Okay, that's the thing. So this type of things are really important things. Okay, right. Reply songs also you can see sometimes. Reply songs, reposting or resharing ideas. That also okay. In the TikTok, you can see so many repost ideas. It means they decode that thing and they understand that thing and they try to repost that thing means what thing? They also try to develop their ideology according to the post. So other thing they mention some people, they tag some people for the message. That also okay. Decoding. Right. Now the next one. This thing actually you note down, no? Okay, no? Note down. This thing, reacting, reply, commenting. Okay, no? Then we can move to the feedback thing. If you okay, okay. I think you note down these things. Right. Feedback, next one. Feedback. Now feedback. Feed some kind of developing idea. Back means the reaction. So reacting ideas is here. Feedback. Feedback. Feedback, the point is here, just right. Feedback is the response that the communicator can see from the receiver. can see from the receiver. Okay, the communication. Okay, now you can point out, highlight that the communicator can see from receiver. It's a simple, a nice point is there in the exam. Sometimes you can see this thing, you can write, note down that thing also near to that idea. In the feedback, we can explain like this. Visualized answer by receiver. Visualized answer by receiver. Visualized answer by receiver. Please note down this. Visualized answer by receiver. Communicators can't develop feedbacks, okay? Feedbacks only belong to what person? Receivers. Reacting now, okay? If they understand the message, they can react. So these reactions are the basic idea for the feedback. So feedback belongs to what persons? Receivers. Okay? Communicators can't develop that thing. If the communicator convert their position for the receiver, now after that thing we can make a feedback. Recently we discussed that thing in the nature of the communication. Two models are there. In here, send a message, receive a one-way type thing. There's no any feedback. Why? Only one way, no? In that model also last week, no? Yeah. Last week, no? Yeah. I explained that thing in here. If we while studying this, the model idea I give you, no reactions are there and no role play, no? Role changings. No reaction means no feedback. But in here, two-way communication. This one have what thing? Reactions and role plays are there. It means in here we can see what type of idea. The roles actually change. For the first time, actually sender is just sender, receiver is just receive. But the second point, receiver become a sender, sender become a receiver. It's a reaction idea. Reaction. See, if you want to make a feedback, you have to change your position. Okay, position. Then you can make a reaction. Okay. Receivers only can develop feedbacks. That is the point. You have to understand that thing. Nah? Receivers only can develop the what thing? Feedbacks. That is the point. You have to understand that point. Okay. So in here, right? This can be direct or indirect idea. Directly we can react for some people sometimes indirectly. As an example, I can give you in a concert, live in concert or something. In a live in concert, we can see so many spectators are there, gathering people for the ground or some indoor area, and they react for the artist or the backing uh, the music band or some people. They react. Okay, sometimes cheering, sometimes clapping, sometimes they sing the song with the artist. That is the feedback, and that's a direct one. No? The artist and the backing band also can see the people clapping and people sing with them. Direct feedback. Indirect means bad thing. Actually, if someone want to inform something for some person, if they use another person to inform that thing for another person means indirect. Please tell this thing for them. Please tell this thing for that person. I can't come. Please inform them. That means a indirect one, not a direct one. Okay. In here, you answer for me as a direct one. Okay? We don't use another person to communicate with me or get the reactions. No? Directly you communicate with me. That is the direct feedback. I can see you messages, I can see you ideas. That is direct feedback. Okay? And other things you can see what thing. Highlight that one. Direct and indirect. Okay. And other thing, positive and negative. So recent example, you can write that thing. Huh? Cheering, clapping. Okay. Cheering, clapping. Okay. That type of things are feedbacks. Think about that thing. Positive feedback. In a positive feedback, we can see cheering or clapping. Positive feedbacks. Good thing, no problem. But negative, just highlight the negative. Negative feedbacks. I think sometimes you can see in some concerts actually, they show their anger. They show their anger. Sometimes they don't like that artist. They don't like the backing band or something. Their lineup, they don't like that thing. I saw that in Sri Lanka also. Other countries also have that type of things. But in Sri Lanka, there are a couple of months, years ago, and Avatar band. Avatar, you know the Melia Vijay Studios in there. Avatar, the Hinguragode area, there's an open outdoor concert. Okay, some incident happening there, and that spectators, people's coming to see that thing. Actually, they show their anger, and they throw some chairs to the stage, and they are everything climbing the stage and in the stage, and they damage all the stage equipments and instruments. They damage it, and they destroy that all the things, that sound system, lights, speakers, buffers also. They damage all the things actually. After you can see a huge loss for the band and the organizers or organizers also. So that type of things are negative. It's not a good feedback. Okay, someone calling up the telephone with using the hotline in the television or radio. Sometime in the discussion, within the discussions, they give some chance to ask some questions from the ministers or something. Think about the PT or something in there. Some people calling them and they blaming, and they use some bad words in the online on air ideas. It's not a good thing. It's not positive. It's a bad thing. So think about that. Positive is if someone cheering is a good idea, and someone throw something to the stage, or they scolding someone. Okay, that's not a positive feedback. It's a negative feedback. Think about that. Not positive and negative. Think about that. So that type of things are what thing for the feedbacks. You know that example, that concept idea, clapping, cheering, sing with the song, the artist or band. That type of things are positive feedbacks. Negative means they scolding, struggling. That type of things are not a good feedbacks. Dedicate some songs. Also, example, ask some questions from the artist or any ministers in a discussion on there. That's also a feedback. Think about that. Okay, right? Note down the examples. Huh? If you done that thing, please tell me. Then we can move to the next one, noise. After that, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements we have after that. If you done, tell me. Okay. Then move to the noise after that thing. Noise. feedback, good or bad things are there. Okay, good and bad. Okay, done. Okay or no? Right. Then noise, next one. Noise normally last week also I gave you that simple point is noise is a blockage for the communication process. It's some kind of a problem. After that type of things come, we can't properly communicate with each other. So in the platform, it's a problem. So noise is the blockage. Just highlight the blockage word is here. Noise is the blockage. Highlight the blockage idea. Noise is a blockage. Okay. And that can happen to the communication process. This usually has several methods, such as semantic, highlight the semantic barrier. Semantic barrier have a similar name. Write down that thing in the right hand side for the semantic word. It's called mean. Mean means literacy problems. Someone use a rural language or someone use scientific words or some literary high classical words. People can't understand it. That thing, okay? Literacy problems are mainly focused about the mean, semantic barriers, okay? The second one, next one, media barriers. Media barriers, similar word is the channel barriers also. In here, if we, while doing this class, sometimes some signal failures comes. Then automatically signal cut. Today also it happens. You face for the power cut idea. And suddenly, see, that type of barriers we call media barriers. Okay. Environmental barriers. Mainly in the paper, if they ask to write main barriers, two barriers only they are. Mean means semantic barriers and the media barriers. Channel also same for media. Okay, so if they ask to write main two barriers, firstly semantic barrier, secondly media barrier. Okay. Other things, additional things. Next one, environmental barrier. Environmental means sometimes climate change, weather problems are there. Raining is a problem for what thing? To proper signal transmission. Telephone conversation, sometimes radio transmission, sometimes signal fail. Okay, environment. That thundering or something happen. It's really effect for the electricity problems. Towers sometimes, transmission towers, sometimes damage. Okay, that thing are there. And next one, the mental and physical barriers. Mental barriers means some persons have sometimes tension or hypertension or that type of mentally distractions that people can't focus on their works. Okay, education or anything, any creations or something. Some people getting distracted that people can't focus for their main ideas, main education or anything. Think about that thing. Physical barriers means what type of idea? Sometimes deaf people are there, blind people are there, disabled people are there. That people can't communicate with someone same like others. They can communicate, but not same like others. Okay? If you have, if they have that type of barrier, we have to use a special system to communicate with society. Okay? And physical barrier means that idea. but they also can communicate with society. But they have to use the system. And technical barrier means what? The printing mistakes are there. Sometimes if you call him, you can hear this thing. The number you dial is not reachable. Please try again later. Reach, can't reach. It comes from what thing? Signal failures are there. You know, town areas, some provinces, districts have some levels of the coverage. No? If you pass this borders to between the two towns or two provinces or something, signal levels are sometimes not totally same, different sometimes. According to that different idea, sometimes some signal areas, it means blind spots are there. Blind spots means what thing? No signals in that area. It's a totally, the gap is there. No signals. Okay, that calls a technical barrier idea. You can see in the newspaper sometimes the book also same like that. You can see some in the books or the magazines or the newspapers, some blot words are there. Blur sometimes, some photos or something blurry effect is there. Pixel problem is there for some images. That thing technical barrier. Okay, understand that. And if you call in someone, according to the signal barriers or something, you call someone, you say hello, and after the conversation, sometimes stuck the message up, uh, 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 that type of messages come. So you can't understand what they say, and you can see some echo. If you say hello, 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 yes, 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 echo is there. That is really distract you. That type of things are technical barriers. Okay, and after that, interruptions are inevitable in communication world. See, there's no any communication without barriers. All the communication type have some kind of barrier. Anything. Sometimes meaning, sometimes technical, sometimes environmental, sometimes physical, sometimes mentally. Every communication have a barrier. There's no any communication without barriers. Think about that. Yeah. Right. Noises also okay. I give so many examples for you according to the semantic and that area. If you want, you can write down like this. I can give each examples for the all the barriers like this. Write down that thing under passage. Write down under the passage. Semantic. Example is rural language usage. It's a literacy problem. Semantic. Next one is media barriers. Next one. Media means channel barrier. You can see sometimes okay, some printing mistakes, signal failures are there. And environmental barriers after that thing. Has that rain, raining, thundering, signal failures also there after that thing. Heavy rain is a problem. Heavy wind also a problem. For what thing? For the transmission towers. Okay. And mental barriers after that thing. Can write that depression, depression, tension, anxiety, that type of this. Okay. Mental barriers. Next one, physical. Physical barrier means the deaf people are there, blind people are there, disabled peoples are there. Disabled peoples are there. Lastly, technical barriers. No, technical means transmission, transmitter problem. Okay, transmitters problem. Okay, printing mistakes also there. Blurry, blur photos or blur pictures. Okay, and signal range problem. That type of things are there. So examples, so many examples are that it's a practical thing. No? So many examples are there for the barrier thing. You done that thing, please tell me. Yeah, lot of examples are there. You all are okay, all done. Then tell me. Deaf. Okay, okay, right. Now the next one, next page. Experiences are there. Experiences are there. Experiences. Experiences actually based from what thing? Your time and the age. I add that point in here. Experience is the amount of skill or skill acquired with the age and time. Highlight. Think about your when you are a child, the past, that person, and now you are an advanced level student, now a young one, and totally different ideas, totally different ideologies and perspectives, perspectives that you have now, feelings also that you have now, but you are same person. But that thing actually depend on the age and the time. Have to understand that thing. Huh? Then generally there are three types of experiences. You have to understand that thing. Just highlight this thing. Huh? That is personal. Firstly, personal. It means your failures, emotional damages, your targets, your desires, your sorrows, joys, all the things actually a personal experiences, right? Highlight the personal. Secondly, experience from others. Experience from others means now I teach to you, no? Now I teach you. Some lot of guided persons that you have in the past also. Some role models that you have. Motivational people, ideal people that you have. I think so. That thing actually experience from others. Teachers mainly in there, lecturers are there, celebrity characters, ideal characters are examples for that thing. Parents, sometimes your elders. hmm. Experience of media for that thing. Experience of media means watching television, listen to the radio, social media, networks. You use that thing. Then you can get some ideas from them and you can develop some ideas after that according to your creativity. So highlight three examples. Personal experience that you have, experience of others you have, and experience of medias. That's the thing. Okay. Then basically any communication is successful with the similarity of the experience. If I use a Tamil in here, sometimes you can't understand all of the things about that message. If you can read the Tamil, okay. Okay. So similar words we use, similar languages we have to use for what? Develop our message to according to other person's ideas. So think about experience really helpful to what? To develop a successful proper communication. Okay. And the experience of communicate and receiver, how to maintain that similarity. Without that similarity, you can't communicate with other people. Okay. So I don't give another examples for this thing because I just explain the personal experiences, what are the ideas and sorrow, joy, feelings, that thing. Experience of others means teachers think about us. And experience of media means you also search that in some things in the TikTok or something, YouTube or any other Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is, you use that thing. And you try that type of thing sometimes. Think about that one, right? Experiences. Uh, okay, no. Okay, no. Then context idea. Next one. Normally, you know context idea now. Contextuality, contextual idea, and this context have the both same idea. Okay, not a different thing. The context is the environment necessary for the work called communication. Contexts have similar names. No, just write down that thing near to the context name topic. Recently, that second lesson, that nature thing, according to contextual idea, three words we write that in there. Environment, just write down. Environment, a similar name for contextual idea. Okay. And surrounding idea is there. Surrounding idea is there. And background idea is there. Background idea is there. Okay. Surrounding idea, background idea is there. And after that, you can see some examples for that thing. So after that, I don't give examples for that thing because in the context idea, we just discussed, I think five topics are there. What are the contexts is there? Theories, models, forms, technology. I give all the examples for that thing in the recent nature point. So I don't give again in here, but you can use these points to explain this one. Okay. Generally, communication basics are there. Communication basics means that mainly elements that we can use now. So context also element, you can use that thing as a basic. And next on communication models, one way and two way. Okay. And communication theories are there, one way and two way idea, because model we don't call one way and two way. Well, idea is that thing, but we use linear non-linear for the model. But theories we call one way and two way. Okay. Last, that in the contextual idea, I explained this thing. Then technology is there, analog to digital thing. We know that thing. I explained that thing with the speed. Analog is a lowest one, and digital is a speed up one. And I draw the signal also in there. And communication methods belongs to it. Methods means you can intrapersonal, interpersonal, group and mass is there, and sometimes verbally, non-verbally, that type of methods also we can use. If you want, you can write that thing. But recently we wrote that thing, so don't write that again. But just highlight theories, communication ideas. That thing. Now last two we have. Okay, now effects. Effects is usually the communicator's expectation. Just highlight. Communicator's expectation is the idea what thing effects. So highlight. So I'm the communicator. If I develop a message and someone react for that thing, the same idea that I think, that is the effect. Okay. If I develop some kind of a sad or emotional song or something, the audience or other listeners or viewers so getting emotional according to that point, that is my effect. Okay. If the politician develop a very kind of motivational speech for the nation, and the people trust that idea and they give their vote for that person, and that person become a president or something, that is the effect. Think about that thing. Okay. And the impact here can be classified as physical and mental. Highlight that. In the exam, if they ask to write main two effects of the communication, physical effects are there and the mental effects are there. Physically means the behaviors change, surface, background area, or the fashion, or change the hairstyle or something, the wearings that can demonstrate the physical effect. But if some persons actually change their attitudes, change their ideologies or perspectives, means mentally. If you follow some spiritual things, after that things really affect for your mindset. So that is the mental type idea. It can also be divided into direct and indirect. Sometimes mass media commercials can directly develop effect for you, and some social media apps or something can indirectly motivate you. Sometimes addictions comes like that. However, what the communicator says determines the state of the receiver is clear here. Okay. If you want to develop some kind of social effect, the receiver is actually connected with that thing. That is the idea. And the last point, signals are there. Signals. A signal is a technical or conventional method that can be used to file information between parts. Highlight. I normally told you that it's some kind of a format. Collection ideas are there, but they use a format, audio, visual, or whatever it is. But they use that thing. It depends on the medium, okay? Think about that. And send it to units. This was done with sound image in the past. Sounds and images highlight. Sound just hooting, images just mean visual ideas, fire or smoke. That also idea. Now it is used as a technical file in the slightly advanced transmission works of the telephone, television and radio systems. That media also indicate what thing? This thing. Effects are there. And some signals we can use in there. Okay. And done with past. Now it is used as a technical file in the slightly advanced transmission works with telephone and television and radio system as well as internet tools. Internet, that system, digital communication system is there, but all the things together, no? That's called convergence. Convergence, write down that word. Convergence. Convergence. Convergence means what thing? Making common digital platforms. As an example, internet is the best example. Convergence. 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 That is the word. Convergence. Convergence. Right. That is the idea. Right. Now we fully discuss the elements of the communication. Right. Then we can hold this for today. Definitions and the functions we can discuss next week. So next week we can finalize this fully lesson definition with the functions. After that, we can finish the fully second lesson. And after that, you have to face your second unit test. Then we can check the marks after that. So according to today's session, actually, I can give you a question for you. It can cover the fully entire part of this elements idea, and you can write down that thing. Put today date. Today, 14th of July, 2026, and the lesson is second lesson. The subtopic is the elements of the communication. Note down this thing, and this is the homework for you. Homework for you. Okay. So write down this thing. Write down this exam. This is the question. According to the communication studies, right now, according to the communication studies, 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 write down 4 communication elements that you can practically use. Write down 4 communication elements that we can practically use, practically use, practically use in the communication process, in the communication process, in the communication process, and put a comma. In the communication process, put a comma, put a comma. comma, and select two of them, 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 select two of them, select two of them. After that, explain that two elements with their, explain that two elements with their characteristics, 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 characteristics with example, with example, with examples, with examples, with examples. Full stop. So first here you have to write down 4 elements. Then you have to select two elements. Then you have to write down 2 passages for them. So this question actually marks 12 marks question. Firstly, 4 marks for the 4 elements, and other 8 marks for the 2 passages with the topics. So note down, write down that thing, and after finalize the question answer, please send it to me, and I check that thing. I give the marks to you. The next day we can do what thing? The last parts of this lesson, definitions and the functions of the communication idea. So, okay, thanks for joining with us, and see you next time. And please finalize the questions and send it to me. And bye. Good night. See you next time.